Hey everyone, hope you're having a great day. I'm Jack Kaiser. Appreciate you tuning in to the podcast as always. A lot of winter weather this week. Seems like a great time to stay safe, stay in, and listen to us. Remember, you can find the links and clips, all our episodes across our social media platforms. Search at BU Knights. Today, we're joined by someone whose New Year's resolution was to be a walking bucket from the Bellarmine women's basketball team, senior guard Bailee Harney. Bailee, how are you today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing great. You've been fantastic in ASUN play. 15 points per game over the last 8, I believe. That's absurd. Why do you think you've been so great recently?
A lot of people have asked me that lately. I just think like it's my confidence. I just go out there and just shoot it. And I'm not thinking about, it's a bad shot or like, it's not going in. I think it's a lot of my confidence right now.
Right. And not that you didn't have that ability before, but it seems like it's all just flowing out right now.
Yeah.
So why do you think that switch flipped in the middle of the season?
Also, I think it's a lot of my teammates too. They're out there and they're all on my side, and my coaches and stuff, and they have the confidence in me too.
That confidence, those points, they just keep pouring in, and I think you've been the leading scorer for the last 5 games, so it's just been a great stretch for you. Sunday was also a great day for you and your family. Mm-hmm. Right when we got back from the trip to Florida, you drove up to see your family just south of Cincinnati, and they're all huge Bengals fans.
They are.
So I'm sure everybody was absolutely pumped that day.
Oh, yeah. Especially my parents. They're supposed to have a big old Super Bowl party in a couple weeks, too, so hopefully I can go to that.
Was there any talk at all of trying to make it out there for the Super Bowl?
Like the game?
To L.A., yeah.
Yeah, my brother was asking a little bit about it, but my dad's like, there's no way. But actually, one of my dad's best friends from Northern Kentucky, he won 2 tickets to the Super Bowl.
Really?
Yeah.
How?
He's he has season tickets or whatever, so they just gave them to him. I don't know.
Right.
He posted on Facebook, and my mom was like, oh my gosh, I'm so jealous.
That's so cool. I did see something crazy the other day. I could never afford this, but I think the cheapest ticket right now to go to the Super Bowl is $5,900.
That's crazy. It's in a great location, too. L.A.
Yeah. You want a Super Bowl in warm weather.
Exactly.
So,
yeah. Especially with all this weather going on right now.
Oh, my God.
We're supposed to have an ice storm on tomorrow, I guess.
Yeah. Right, kind of like right after your game at 11 a.m. against Liberty.
Hopefully class gets canceled.
Yeah, I know. That'd be a bonus, right? Although I'm sure you have to do online stuff as
actually,
usual.
I have a 3 o'clock class tomorrow, and my teacher's weird about that. He's like, no online stuff, so which is good for me.
Okay. Yeah. It's always kind of nice to have the older professor that's like, you know what? I don't want to deal with the technology. We'll just worry about it later.
Yeah.
So what's the worst weather you can remember experiencing?
I used to live in Muhlenberg County. I don't know if you know where that's at. Close to Owensboro, Kentucky.
I think it's so funny. I'm from Indianapolis.
Yeah.
Everybody in Kentucky identifies themselves by county.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's a thing.
Yeah.
I think it's hilarious.
So, I was living in Muhlenberg County at the time, and there was a really bad ice storm, and I remember we were off of school for a couple weeks. Power lines were shut down. There was trees everywhere from where the ice, just broke them down. So, I think that's the biggest storm I've been through.
Yeah, there was an ice storm last year, right?
I believe
right around
so,
this time? That was pretty bad. I don't know how bad it got here in Louisville.
I don't really remember it too much.
So it must not have been that bad. Yeah. I just remember I couldn't open my front door because there was a hump of ice about a foot tall. So we had to go through our back door for probably about 3 or 4 days.
That's crazy.
So that was bad. And then I'm sure there's snow days you remember as a kid where you got a foot of snow and got off school.
And you go out and play and stuff, yeah.
Right.
But that's what I miss about being a kid. You appreciate the snow days, but now it's just it's just snow. It's
more of a hassle.
Yeah.
I saw a tweet today that said if you're over 12 years old and you're looking forward to 12 inches of snow, there's something wrong with you.
Yeah.
Which I kind of agree with. So yeah, hopefully it's not too bad tomorrow. There's no issues for everybody making out to the game. So we were just talking about football and the Bengals. I was curious because you've played, at a high level of sports for a while, and you've probably attended some pretty great sporting events, what's the best sports environment you've ever been in? A player or fan?
As a player, when I used to play in the 3rd region, Muhlenberg County, it was the 3rd region finals, and it was at the Owensboro Sports Center, and it was packed. It was crazy. And we were playing at Owensboro Catholic. Former player Michaela Berry played on the team. I don't know if you know her or not, but we were down like 20 or so at halftime, and then we came back and we beat them by 2 points, and I hit the game-winning shot, and it was just crazy. And my grandpa has the video up on it, Facebook still, and I mean the whole place was going crazy. And I think that's been my best moment.
Right.
Experience, at least, yeah.
Yeah, especially hitting the game-winning shot.
Yeah, which
that's
is
so
crazy,
cool.
yeah.
So I've never experienced that, but I've been to high school basketball where it's probably, a 3,000 to 5,000 person gym, and it's just packed. And there's something special about that.
It is, yeah.
And I think, playing in Freedom Hall, it's so historic, it's so cool. But one of the cool things about Knights Hall was when you get 1,000 to 2,000 people.
It's packed. It feels packed. And it feels like
fun.
home,
Right.
And that's what we talk about all the time as players, that we miss Knights Hall. We really do. But we like Freedom Hall, too.
Yeah.
It's a great place to play at.
I think there's pros and cons to both.
Yeah, I agree.
Like the chance to walk out where so many great players, men's and women's, have walked down that ramp onto the floor, and Muhammad Ali fought there.
Oh, yeah.
And I think the lighting's super cool. Like, there's so many cool things about it, but there's something about a small gym that's full that's special in the Midwest.
Yeah.
There really
I
is.
agree.
And luckily, you guys still get to practice here.
Yeah.
So that's a positive, too. I was also curious, as a kid, like, was it always basketball for you? Were there any other sports?
Yeah. So, growing up, I used to play soccer, and I was on the golf team too. So I've played lots of sports, but my dad played in college, so we've always been a big basketball family. My brother plays basketball. He's a real good basketball player, but he also plays football and baseball too. And my sister has played a little bit, but she's not really athletic.
Do you remind
Hopefully she's
her?
not listening to this.
I hope she listens, but do you remind her that, like, hey?
Yeah, we kind of give her a tough time, but
Remind her, hey, I'm the top dog here, okay?
That's what we always talk about in the family, top dog. We
So-
always mess around with my brother about me and my dad playing college basketball, and he's not on our level yet.
So you and your dad have the bragging rights right now.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. What's your golf handicap?
I haven't played in a while. I played in, like, middle school, so
So you don't play that much during the summer?
no.
Okay.
I haven't really had time. I kind of want to, like, pick it back up once basketball's over, do something, Play
Right.
with my grandpa. He really likes playing golf, so.
Yeah. No, there's so many cool golf courses around here. It's a really hilly area.
Yeah.
So I'm sure the golf is good around here, and also up north near Cincinnati. I was reading your website bio earlier today, and it says you started for 5 years at Covington Holy Cross.
So I went to Muhlenberg County High School till my junior year, and then about October I moved to Northern Kentucky.
Got it.
And I went to Simon Kenton High School.
Okay.
And then I moved to Holy Cross my senior year.
Gotcha.
And my dad went to Holy Cross.
Right. Sometimes there's the odd instance where you can actually play varsity as like a 7th or an 8th grader.
Oh, okay. Yeah, wait. Yeah, I did start my 8th grade year. Is that what you mean?
Yes.
Yeah, I started my 8th grade year in
Because
Muhlenberg
there's
County. So
like 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th.
yes.
So, like, how does that work? Because where I'm from, you can't really do that.
I don't know. I guess down in Western Kentucky, you're allowed to do that.
Okay.
I think you can still do it, but I know up in Northern Kentucky, I don't think that's much allowed. I'm not really 100% sure.
I always found that interesting, like, a 13-year-old could be out there with 18-year-olds
I know, it's
playing.
crazy, isn't it?
Yes, that's nuts. That's obviously pretty impressive.
Yeah.
You were able to do that to some degree.
I know, like, my brother, he's doing that right now. He's
Really?
in 8th grade. He plays at Beechwood.
And he's on the varsity team.
Yeah, he starts.
Wow.
Yeah.
So he's going against 18-year-old guys
Yeah.
that some are going to college to play and everything.
Especially, I don't know if you know Covington Catholic. Their team is loaded with D1 scholarships right now. So he played them a couple weeks ago. I mean, it didn't end up too well, but, I mean, it is what it is.
Has he ever talked about, like, man, it just seems overwhelming playing some of these guys?
He doesn't really talk to me much about basketball. I mean, when I go home, we really don't, talk too much about it.
Yeah.
We just kind of like try to like see each other and stuff because we haven't seen each other in a while. But I think he really, he's good about it. Like he doesn't get overwhelmed and stuff about that kind of stuff.
Yeah. No, that's really impressive. I know you saw your family this past Sunday, but how often are you able to go up and see them?
When we were Division II, I got to see him a little bit more because we weren't that like strict and it wasn't really a powerful schedule like it is D1. Maybe every 2 weeks or so. It just depends if we're traveling or not. And then plus they come to the game, so I usually go out to eat with them afterwards.
Okay, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I just think having your family like close enough where you can go see them whenever you want to, and them coming to the games.
Because my house is like an hour and a half away. It's not bad.
That's not bad at all.
It's just the drive. I just don't want to drive.
Right. Yeah. You don't look forward to the hour and a half on the highway.
No, you do not.
Especially when you have a schedule like you do.
Yeah. And we just got back off the road, and I don't want to get back on the road, and
Right. You're in the grind right now of conference play. So I was going to save this for later, but have you thought about the fact that, you've played basketball basically your entire life, and all of that is starting to wind down now?
Yeah, actually me and a couple of my teammates were talking about it this morning. Like we were talking like, what are we going to do? Like our whole life we've been playing and it's going to be weird not playing, but I'm excited to watch my brother play and get to go to his games because I've missed a lot of that, and I'm excited to do that.
Right. The news of Tom Brady retiring officially,
it's crazy.
It's nuts. And he's talking about all the time that he missed, with his kids and his wife. I mean, that applies at every level, including you. You miss out on family time and seeing your brother play. So there's a lot of stuff that you can look forward
at least
to.
basketball is not going to be over. I mean, I'll be able to watch him play, which is amazing.
You can live vicariously through your brother.
Oh, yeah. Be cheering on in the front row.
He's still
be a crazy fan.
He's still got a lot of high school years left because he's playing in 8th grade.
Yep.
So speaking of family, your mother, Chastity, correct?
Yes.
She was diagnosed with lung cancer a few years ago.
My freshman year.
How's she doing?
She's doing good, yeah. She's stable right now.
Okay.
So she'll never be in remission, but she'll always be. If we can keep her stable, that's the main goal.
Okay, and she's in good spirits and everything?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Good to hear.
If you see her, she doesn't look like she's sick at all. She looks great.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
So a few years ago, your school started a fundraiser for your family. What type of moment was that to see the community rally around her and your family?
I mean, it was unreal. I mean, it just thinking about it, seeing like everyone around me care so much for me and my family it was crazy.
So whenever you found out, what was going through your mind in that moment?
So like I said, it was my freshman year, and freshman year is hard in general for, coming in freshman year playing college basketball and school and everything. And, I went home and I talked to my parents, like the options I had and stuff. And, my mom said, she's like, I want you to finish off at Bellarmine. And so that's what stuck in my head the whole time. So that's what I'm doing.
Yeah. So was there a thought initially like, I need to come closer to home to be with her?
Yeah, I definitely the thought was to go home and be with her and my family, to help out and stuff with my brother and my sister and my dad. But, I stayed here, and, that made her happy and my family. So it made me happy, too, that I ended up here. That's
an amazing thing for her to say. Like, no matter what happens, I want you to finish at Bellarmine.
Yeah.
And, it's worked out where she's stable, she's feeling great, and you're able to finish out your career here. That's amazing.
It's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'm happy to hear that she's doing well and she's stable. So when you initially came here, before your freshman year, what separated Bellarmine from the other schools you were considering?
Just how good of a school it was. I mean, it's a great school, and it has great athletics. And then how close it was to my home. I wanted to be closer to home, so.
Were you looking at any other schools?
Yeah, a couple. There was a Northern Kentucky. There was Belmont. A couple lower D1 schools. I don't really remember.
Yeah, I mean, your whole life, like in this new phase, has been Bellarmine everything. So it's probably hard to remember some of the old stuff. So your first 3 years-ish or so, you didn't have the same level of playing time as you did in high school. And I think that's a thing that a lot of athletes go through transitioning from high school to college. What was that process like for you mentally adjusting to that?
Like coming in and
not playing as much as you did in high school as a starter for 5 years.
You just got to trust the process and stuff. And, you can't give up. You got to keep going out there and practicing and doing what you do, That's that's what stuck through my mind. Just do what you do. Right.
And last year, along with COVID, with all of that, you had a sprained MCL. Is that correct?
Yes, you're correct.
Okay. I've never done that before. And if I had to guess, most people listening to this have not sprained their MCL. So get as detailed as you want here, however detailed you want to be. What does that feel like in the moment?
It hurts when you walk.
Yeah.
It's just like something you have to kind of deal with. There's not really, just extra treatment in the training room, and it's just, I guess, rest helps it. But that's the only thing you can really do.
So when you sprained it, did it feel like something kind of twisted?
Yeah, so we were in Knights Hall actually, and I was running, and I planted and I twisted it kind of. So yeah, it didn't feel too good.
What were you thinking when it happened?
Not good things.
Yeah, I'm sure. Were you thinking the worst, like this is it?
No, not really. I kind of had positive thoughts too, like maybe it's just like I tweaked it or something. Because I finished practicing after that.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, maybe it's just I just tweaked it or whatever.
Yeah.
And I did.
Right, right. It ended up fine. You ended up coming back later that season. Have you ever had a significant injury like that or worse before?
I have fractured both of my ankles before in high school. Not at the same time. When I say both, everyone's like, oh my God, at the same time.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I've done them, fractured them a couple times in high school.
Okay. How long did it take to get over that?
A couple weeks. I can't really remember, just a lot of rehab. I was in boots and stuff like that.
It took a couple of weeks to heal the fractured ankle?
Yeah, couple weeks, couple months. I'm telling you, I really don't remember.
Yeah. That seems pretty significant. Whenever you hear fracture, like that's crazy. So like we talked about earlier, now here you are. You're playing the best basketball of your career in your senior season. And Coach Dugan has talked about this a couple of times, how much your shot has developed since you've been here. How did that happen? What was that process like coming in as a freshman to now, the growth of your shot, I guess?
Yeah, you have to put in extra work. That's the biggest thing, like especially in the summer and stuff. You have to go out there and work, and you can't just, sit around and expect your shot to get better overnight. You know what I mean? So that was like the biggest thing.
Is it just getting up shots, or are there tweaks that you make?
I think it's just getting up a lot of shots, game shots.
Yeah, getting like game reps in practice, making yourself feel tired and everything.
Yes. Shooting while you're tired too.
Right. I love your shot, by the way. Like, some people like totally rainbow it. You just shoot it like bang.
My dad always calls it a line drive, a knuckleball. I've done it my whole life, and it works. He gets so mad. He calls it a knuckleball.
It is line drive-esque.
It is.
But it goes in.
It goes in. That's what everyone says, like, you need to shoot on the gun. But the gun, it makes me shoot with the arch. And I'm just like, I don't like shooting on the gun.
Why would you change it at this point, especially when you're shooting so well? Like, that's fantastic. So your dad, I'm guessing, had more of a conventional shot.
Mm-hmm. He says he was a shooter.
Okay, he says he was a shooter.
Yeah.
Was he? Is he?
He was. He was a 6'4" shooter.
Okay.
So he could shoot the ball.
Is he a glory days guy? Like, hey.
Yeah. He reminds me quite often.
Okay.
Yeah.
How good he was in high school and college? Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. Did he coach you growing up?
Oh, yeah, he did. AAU.
Okay.
Yeah.
And does he coach now?
Yeah, he actually coaches my brother, AAU, too.
Oh, really?
He's an assistant coach.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like dad being an assistant coach is better than dad being a head coach. Would you agree with me?
Yes. Oh, I don't know. He's still on the sideline yelling at you, so. But.
Right. But he has the presence of like, okay, dad's here with me, but like, he's not the guy in charge.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, but every coach, child relationship's a little bit different. I'm happy to hear your guys's was a good one.
Yeah, it was really good. I'm glad that I got to experience that.
Right. The other thing about your game that I like is your change of pace. It seems like you have this little hesitation move around the free throw line where you're just like, oh, I'm going to pass, I'm going to pull up. Nope, I'm going to go by you and then bank it in. Is that something that you focused on coming into this year?
No, not really. I don't know. It just kind of happens.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I've worked on it before in the summer, but I didn't really focus on it. It just kind of happens.
Seems like a comfortable move for you. Mm-hmm. So you've had that since your high school days.
Yeah.
And now it's just all coming out now.
Yeah, I guess so. Like I said, it comes back with the confidence. I think I'm just
Right.
really confident, and my teammates are confident in me, and my coaches are. So.
Yeah. Well, again, that's showing. In case you didn't hear us earlier, 15 points per game over her last 8, and your previous career high was 12 points. And I think your career high right now is 23, getting super stat driven here. And then you had a big game at Ohio State earlier this year too. What was that moment like for you playing in that type of arena and hitting all those shots?
It was really fun. Those girls are good.
Yeah.
That's all I got to say. It was fun how we could, get out there and experience that level of play.
Right. Your level of play that night was really high. And on the academic side of things, you're a business administration major.
Correct.
Why did you decide that?
So coming in my freshman year, I was actually a biology major.
Oh, okay.
And then I switched to business, and I wanted to do something in the medical field, and I'm going to do medical sales after college. So I didn't really want to do be a doctor or a dentist or anything, but I wanted to still be in the medical field. So, I just did some research and stuff and thought medical sales would be good for me. So.
Why did you decide that you wanted to be in the medical field?
I just want to help people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I've been my uncle is a doctor, my aunt's a dentist, and I've always just grown up wanting to, help and make a difference.
Was that solidified even more when your mom was diagnosed with lung cancer?
Yes, it was. My mom still wants me to be a nurse, but I just.
Yeah.
My sister's actually going to school to be a nurse, so I'll
Really?
just let her do that. Yeah.
That's insanely admirable.
I know.
Especially right now.
Oh, yeah.
What they have to do is absolutely bonkers. But, that sounds like a great field to go into, medical sales.
Yeah.
And you mentioned you had an internship
I did,
related to that?
this summer with Chad Miller.
Okay.
Yeah.
How was that?
It was good. It was fun, yeah. I'm excited. After a season, I'm supposed to shadow one of his workers every day, which is really cool.
Okay, so that's the next step for you, kind of transitioning from school basketball into the professional world.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay, so after you shadow, are you just going to look for a job and see
Yeah,
what's out there?
Maybe I'll get a job. Maybe he'll get me a job here in Louisville, or I have a couple people I know in Northern Kentucky too. So.
Do you want to stay in Louisville?
I'd rather move back home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was wondering this too because it seems like everyone has an extreme opinion on this. They either want to be close to home or they want to live really far away.
Yeah. So actually, I've been dating this guy for 5 years, and he lives in Owensboro, Kentucky.
Okay.
And he just bought a house, so I don't know. I'm kind of up in the air, moving there, or
Right.
going back home for a couple months.
Yeah.
So I don't really know where I'm going to be at.
Well, you've got a lot on your mind right now.
Yeah.
So that's something you can figure out here in the coming months. Mm-hmm. Is he able to make it to games a lot?
Yeah, he is. He actually played at Kentucky Wesleyan.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So he graduated last May. So yeah, he comes to a lot of the games.
Now I'm curious. Do you guys talk basketball?
Oh, yeah.
A lot.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, we do.
Is he the type to hey, try this or try that or?
No, not really.
You shut that down?
Yeah.
Okay.
He knows not to say that.
That's probably a good
Yeah.
thing. Man, two great basketball minds right there coming together.
Yeah.
That's cool. So if you didn't live at home, or maybe if your home went with you somewhere, where would you want to live if you could live anywhere in the United States or the world?
That's a good question. Maybe somewhere out west.
Uh-huh.
I've been wanting to visit out there. I've been trying to get my grandparents to take me out there after graduation.
Yeah.
Maybe somewhere out there. I really don't know. I really like Northern Kentucky.
Yeah.
You have Northern Kentucky right there, and then Cincinnati like 10 minutes away. I mean, it's great. You have everything there.
It's a cool spot.
It is.
Cincy's so close. Louisville's an hour and a half away.
It's like right in the middle of everywhere.
Right. Lexington's an hour south. Indianapolis
is right over the bridge. Well, yeah, the bridge.
2 hours away.
Yeah.
You're right. It's kind of in the middle of everything.
So, I mean, it's kind of a hard spot to beat.
Right. So what's the coolest vacation that you've ever taken?
Probably senior year, the Bahamas. I went on a cruise to the Bahamas, which was really cool.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anywhere mainland that you've been?
No.
I'm sure the last, again, like 8, 10 years have been really busy for you.
Me and Presley Brown actually want to do some traveling after we graduate, but I don't know if that'll happen or not.
Right. I think you got to do it at some point, and
but you also have to have the money too.
That's the thing.
That's the thing.
If you've got the money and you've got the time as you search for a job, like that's a great thing to do. I've got a lot of buddies that have gone over to Europe like right after they graduate, and they said it's absolutely incredible. So maybe when I get the money and the time, I'll do that at some point.
That's what me and Presley both say.
Right.
If we get the money, we'll go.
Yeah. So you're pretty tight with Presley?
Oh, yeah.
Because, you both, because she's a true senior also,
yeah, me
right?
and her and Kathleen.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're all pretty close. We came together and we've been here ever since.
Yeah, you've gone through all the practice wars and everything together. So I'm sure senior day for all three of you is going to be really emotional.
It is, yeah.
Will your entire family be there?
Yeah,
okay.
For sure.
Because that's the 24th or 23rd against Lipscomb.
Wait, I thought it was the 20th. It might be the 23rd. I don't.
Sometime that week. I know.
Yeah, I know it's in the 20th.
Right.
Yeah.
So Jacksonville State that week and Lipscomb, one of those two games.
I think it's Lipscomb. I think you're right. It's Lipscomb.
Okay.
Because then our last game is against EKU, at EKU.
At EKU.
Yes.
Got it. So please come out to Senior Day. Support Bailee and everybody. Her entire family's going to be there. It's going to be great. But yeah, 4 years of a lot of hard work here. It's been really fun to watch you this year, and I know you've got to get running to something at 1 o'clock. But yeah, you've been doing great, and thank you so much for coming on today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, no, I really appreciate it. That's Bailee Harney, senior for the Bellarmine women's basketball team. And that does it for KRT episode 10. Subscribe to our YouTube page. Follow us on social media at BU Knights to hear from Bailee and all of our other guests. Join us again next week. I'm Jack Kaiser, and Swords Up.